They have a great pizza law within their band that if anybody's late to practice, whoever's late to practice has to buy the pizza.
That's right.
I'd have gone broke probably. I don't know.
Well, one member quit the band because he couldn't afford all the pizzas he owed.
It's the only way I can afford anything to eat. You'd be late.
Yeah. So, what are you guys up to? I hear that you guys are going to be at Stargazers.
We'll be at Stargazers on
That'd be
Sunday.
January.
On the 31st.
January 31st, Sunday. That'll be our CD release
I
party.
hear they've got a fantastic dance floor in there now.
We got a brand new dance floor. I was there today, and it looks awesome.
I was sliding around on it Friday.
Yeah, it's beautiful, ain't it?
It's slippery.
Yeah, they used to have carpet there, and it was really hard to dance on carpet. But
Well, it was really hard because you never knew what was on it.
yeah,
It's been there forever. But yeah, no, John's done a great job with that place. We love it. It's just tons of stuff going on. He really likes promoting local stuff too. He's a very good friend of local musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a really good opening act. They're called Trademark Infringement.
And so where'd you find those guys?
They're a trio, a power trio, and they're here in Colorado Springs. And they're a favorite of John's. John's likes them a lot too. So this is their first time playing in there. So you know, once they play there, I'm sure they'll be playing there many more times afterwards on their own.
Well, that's cool. You know, that's the whole thing why we started this show. Not only to promote the Facebook group page, the Southern Colorado Musicians and Artists Cooperative that I started, and the associated YouTube channel, but you know, we were looking for lots of bands, and you know, there are lots of bands in Colorado Springs. When I first looked on Reverb Nation, there was like 200, and that's the ones that are on there.
We have an amazing music community in the Springs.
Yeah, a lot of great
Really
songwriters.
awesome.
You got Chuck Snow, you got Andy Clifton, some fantastic songwriters in town.
Yeah, and you know, Paul, as the newest member, right, is one of the busiest guys in town, right?
Seems like
because what else do you do? I mean, you got to run out of here real quick.
Yeah, I've got the Moss Gym on Wednesdays at Cleats East, and we start at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 over there every Wednesday. And
I
it's
know,
kind of
you
a
don't
community
give me
thing to
enough
get
time to
everybody
get
out.
over.
It's
We
a
try to-
wonderful jam.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All the players that come out and have a really good time. We get some dancers out there. In fact, there's a party out there right now.
No way!
Show up.
Are they listening to us right now,
Yeah.
or what?
Well, I don't know if they're listening to you or not over there. They might
Well,
be.
that's, yeah,
They should
that's,
be.
we want to know, because we want them to.
Me
But
too.
yeah, we're looking for every opportunity to jam the airwaves, no matter how we do it. You know, we're live on the broadcast right now. The video we're doing is going to be on my YouTube channel, also the Southern Colorado Musicians and Artists Cooperative YouTube channel. So, you know, this is a very special show, I got to say. We just did our year anniversary, and
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations.
It's a science project that's actually working.
I like the new
You're doing a
location.
good job.
Very
You know,
intimate.
yeah, it's got some nice headrests there, huh?
Yeah, I like this. I got the same kind of headrest in our studio.
But you know, this is the introduction part. Was you guys, the VooDoo Hawks? Well, you know, how many original members now? You're
I'm
almost.
the only one now.
You're almost catching up.
And he's
with,
the second longest. He's been in the band for
14 years
14
now.
years.
That's marvelous.
yeah, that's what I mean.
so
The Colorado
good.
Springs Musical Institution, right here on our show. Which, you know, thank you so much for coming out. This is.
What he's really trying to say is we're old people.
No, what I'm saying is, you know, look at me. I'm the one that's not in the camera, brother.
You're never too old to rock and roll.
But, you know, one of the music institutions in Colorado Springs coming to the show. This is an incredible accomplishment in my mind.
Well, I know
I
a
do.
couple of us have been institutionalized before, but
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not supposed to
So
talk
that's a question coming up. You know. Now that you're here,
Should have been or may be
those,
at any
those
time.
questions. Oh, where did those questions go? I think they just disappeared. So no, we're going to ask some new questions.
I studied all night.
I got them, you know, because
he's
really,
got the new answers and he's got all
Yeah.
the new words he looked up on his
Answer C. It's always C.
It's always C.
It's always C.
Yeah. So, where do you want to start off really? We talked to Paul a little bit as the newest guy. You come from Texas.
Yes, I came up here from Texas about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I
and
remember.
I've been playing in all these different jams and trying to play with anybody who would have me. And then I ran across these guys, and it's like, man, this is like the most awesome band. This is the funnest band. There's so much energy in this band.
Yeah.
You know, and I need a band with a lot of energy because I've got a lot of energy. And
true.
I like guys with me that are not just standing still, that are really
It's
thumping
all
up
that
there.
coffee you drink too. I know.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
Well, honestly, it's a band that anybody would want to get into, so kudos to you. You did really good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
Okay, the actual true stories, we saw him running down the road.
That's right.
And we saw the police behind him, and we said, "Come on over here." He ran into the studio, and we locked the door, and we ain't let him out since.
Yeah,
Don't blame you.
that's working out pretty good.
He's cheap.
I am, man.
But you know, this is all kidding aside. This is always a fun time talking to Rikki. He's popped in a few shows already, and you know, it's like, hey, Rikki, whose show is this? But nonetheless, it's your show tonight. So you know, we're going to ask you a lot of questions. We're also going to open this up right away. I put on the Facebook event page the call-in number for ticket giveaways to your Stargazer show on Sunday, the 31st of January.
Cool. Call in, get a
So
ticket.
yeah, call in. We'll talk to you, and you can ask a question or two maybe if it's not what's Rikki wearing or something like that. But anyway, we have a whole lot of tickets, and we want to fill the show up. We know it's going to fill up because you guys, you know, you play around, but you're not always so familiar around town that people go, "Oh, it's the VooDoo Hogs." Right?
We play probably once every 6 months in town.
See, that's
Yeah,
it. That's
very rarely. We really don't do the bar
It's
loop
hometown,
anymore. And it's
I
kind
know.
of a thing of the past.
So that's your, you know, I mean, you've already established your following, your audience. In fact, you know, God, 2.2 thousand people were invited to listen to this show by everybody involved here. Oh yeah, we stacked the deck on you. You know, so. You know, and the other thing too with the YouTube channel, we just found out through the analytics that the YouTube channel's been seen in 187 countries so far.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
cool. I
So
dig
people
that.
want to see Southern Colorado music, and that's the predominance of everything that's on that YouTube channel. Is, you know, we go to the bars, we go to the festivals, we go anywhere, the jams. You know, we want to showcase everybody here in town, just like you did on the new CD, right?
Yeah.
That was a great lead-in. I love that
I
song.
know.
That was fabulous.
I know, that was good, huh?
That was
I even
good.
caught Rikki
I
off
liked it.
guard because.
Hey, Mac in London. We'll see you soon.
But no, that was the thing. Rikki goes, you know, how many people, should that be a question on the ticket giveaway? How many people guest spotted on the CD?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I know
because
the
nobody
number.
knows yet
We
except
got
you.
the names. Well, we got a lot of local talent. One of them sitting over here actually taking pictures of us. Mike Wadeau from Whiskey Fingers, and Patty Mack from Whiskey Fingers. We had Les Finsick and Steve Daigle from Fish Tank Piranhas was on there. Tim Fenari, Bones Malone. We had
Long-time guitar player in town.
yeah, Andy Clifton, Steve Bain, late great Steve Bain,
Yes.
Lucinda Rodriguez, and Tim Zahn.
Dwight we met from Flash Cadillac.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Sweet.
So we had a lot of local talent around here coming through and doing us favors. Now we owe favors, so we got to go start paying back all these favors that we owe to everybody.
So do you pay back like you collect in pizza from the band people?
Well, normally the drummer brings the pizza here. We'll give him the crust of whatever's left
You
over.
know, gosh,
And we mail it. It takes 2 or 3 days to get there.
If we only knew, huh, Lisa?
Yep. The inside story.
No, we would have pizza for everybody, just like
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right?
That's funny.
Finally, yeah, come back in a flashback to haunt everybody with Sean Penn and El Chapo.
Well, that's messed up.
I know, yeah, that's going to be a great Lifetime movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so, yeah.
Don't think so.
He
at
was
all.
trying to make a movie, apparently.
Yeah, but you know, this is a night for occasions. Like I said, the VooDoo Hawks are in on the Beat Goes On show. Not, you know, the other important thing is, did everyone get their Powerball tickets today?
Oh, yes. I did.
Yeah,
Well,
I have
you
to say I
know, if the
participated.
winner is in this room,
I
I think there's more
I had to
than
run
enough.
to make it to a radio interview, and I
Pizza's for everybody.
Well, at least, you know, it's like
Pizza for
1.5
life.
billion.
I bought one of each, so I'm the winner.
Whiskey Fingers
So-
is going to be the grand winner.
Did you ever hear that comedy album by Richard Pryor? I can't say the title on even though it's in
I love it.
radio. But you know, it's like Richard's in the middle of the skit going, you know, I was in a bar and I'm feeling really good, and I just automatically just shout to the bar, I want to buy everybody something. Remember that? Yeah. Ice water for everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Friday Night Millionaire everywhere.
We didn't even have to bleep him, did we?
Nope, not at all.
You know, yeah.
Not at all. We
After
don't
a
bleep
year,
around
yeah,
here.
they got me trained, yeah. Like the shot collar's really inside, you know. So if you see me fall over, it's
From-
not Lisa.
We don't do bleeps around here.
Well, no, because we're so wholesome and you know.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to offend anybody, and who knows? Just like Jimmy Seiler said, you know, my mom is probably listening.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But then he dropped the F-bomb, so I don't know.
Yeah, and you figured
Probably
mom couldn't
could be
slap him
listening.
at this
Yeah.
point, you know.
Yeah.
Also want to thank all the people in the back room. It goes without saying, lovely Susie and Lisa's twin and Annie on the Facebook event page. So converse with Annie and of course Shadow Man in the shadows, making things work.
And to answer that first question, I am wearing my fuzzy slippers. Blue though, not the pink ones. The pink ones are too small.
Well, yeah, you've had a little inactivity going on, right? Just like me, and
Yeah.
just thank God we're both here, and Lisa too. We've all had something going on somewhere with somebody, and
May I say something really quick?
absolutely.
Cancer sucks. Okay?
And, you know,
Amen.
And I just today found out that a very good friend of mine, shout out to Mark Scanlon, is going through his second bout. And just period. Anybody that's the people in this room, I love you guys, man. It's so good to see people persevere and do the magic and still do the music and do what you're doing with the radio show, because you cannot let it define you.
Well, you know, I also want to take this as a moment to define someone that we lost 2 years ago Monday that we all know and we'll never forget. Mr. Phil Fingers Farrell is always on our minds, and so is
Phil was a former
sweet
member of the
Gina.
VooDoo Hawks. Played in the VooDoo Hawks for a few months.
Yeah, so, you know, we're here, but we always remember.
Yes, yes. It's a strong thing to get through, and it's a blessing in a way, because you come to who you are, and that's a fact.
Boy, and then sometimes you have to just force who you are really out, because before you might have had that inhibition factor that, well, what if somebody doesn't like what I say? Well, now it's like, I don't really care what people say, because
I'm to the point
I
where I
have
don't
something
give
to
a
say,
shit.
right?
There you have it. There you have it.
You
There
bleep that out,
have
right?
it.
Yeah.
That was,
That was an internet radio moment right
the
there.
6-second delay, yeah, I'm sure Ed caught it.
Time space continuum.
Well,
Just
and
left
then-
that right out of there.
Yeah, I know, it didn't help Steve Harvey though, did it?
And we should show some love to David Bowie.
Yeah.
You know, man, never saw that one coming.
No, not at all. But what a wonderful man, and what he left behind is just forever. It
Well,
will be
indeed.
forever.
I know for a fact that there's something good coming out of the show in that regard, right?
Right.
So, you know, Paul, you have anything else that you want to get out before you have to get out?
Well, I mean, you guys you're talking about how cancer is attacking a lot of people. And I know Rick has been having a hard time, and that goes to what I was talking about before, the energy in this band. It's when I'm at rehearsal, I still have yet to see him where it looks like he's struggling with anything. You've always got this tremendous energy, and you're always up, no matter how difficult. You got to be going through a lot of difficulty, I can just imagine. But that's part of what I love about this band. Is you know, I mean, that the leader of the band has got that type of stamina, that kind of energy to overcome that, and chooses to be happy and positive, and just really throws it out there.
Yeah.
And that's what, when you come to a Voodoo Hawk show, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see that hot energy, that, you know, that
take
fun
a lot of
for
naps.
life.
You
Well,
guys
so
are exciting.
Speaking of hot energy, I think it's time for a song, right? Because
Yeah.
we're here to
We're playing
premiere songs from the new CD that Rikki so graciously provided. And Ed, we got one lined up already, right? So we're going to introduce single number 1, which is, what was, I know we wrote down a list, but nonetheless.
Perfect timing.
New music from the Voodoo Hawks.
Is it?
Where did you get a copy of that? I forgot what the song was from. Say hi.
It's not us.
If you can just
It's not Andy's tune?
Or not.
That ain't us.
That's not the Voodoo Hawks.
It's not us. But it sounds good.
That sounds good.
It's on the
We were
blues
just
again.
kidding. I promise.
I like that band.
There you
And
go.
those guys were good,
They
though.
were good.
Yeah.
It ain't us. Are we still live?
No, they're gonna.
Yes, we are. That's what makes it magic. This is so
Can we
much
get a
fun.
do-over?
Well, at least this time we can
we did the cue wrong, and they were finishing up a track before we cut in with the show. So
Oh, so we're behind?
we're behind, but you know, like I said, we're not
Oh,
going
okay.
to watch the clock on this
Oh,
show.
so God,
because it's
so
such
we're
a
not live.
special one.
So you can bleep out shit.
Yeah.
I ain't used to that word yet.
No, you're not gonna.
I got a Band-Aid right here. That's my reminder. So
So, I don't know what, I mean, let's talk about the 31st. Let's talk about anything y'all want to talk
are we live
about.
now? Maybe?
I don't hear anything. So, how are we
We got
feeling,
that.
Mr. White?
That's a live radio moment.
That's right. Live radio for sure.
Perfect
It should be coming
imperfection.
up, right?
What time is it?
Yes, we're live with the song, and
And
it's Say
we're
I.
rocking.
Say I. Oh,
cool.
Prime time radio.
And I
Sykes.
know that's right.
What's his name?
That's Timmy Fenari on
Keith
drums.
Sykes. Tim Fenari on drums. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome drummer.
Ed lost track of the cue, but we're on top of it now.
Okay. Yeah. The funny thing is that recording is the only thing that's left out of the first version of the album. We lost everything.
With the legalities, or what?
No, we lost the whole album with a lightning strike. It wiped out the whole
Oh,
Hard
no.
drive.
hard drive to our recorder and the
man.
external hard drive. So we lost both.
So you lost the backup too,
You
huh?
Lost
have
the
a-
backup.
Yeah, you have an uninterrupted power supply on that
Yeah.
now, right?
Now we do.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
With a brand new backup memory. And the thing is, we had sent that off to the masters. That was the first single. And it went to the masters. And that was the only thing that we still had because it had went to the masters. It came back to us. Everything else, we had the album finished.
Oh,
And we
no.
lost everything on the album. Then we had to start all over.
Do you like the second time better, or do you like the first time better?
I like the second time better
Second
because
time
he's
better?
on it.
Oh, see?
And there's about
Good
2
answer.
songs on there that I hated after I wrote them. And we didn't re-record them.
Always goes that way, doesn't it? You hear it
The
later and you
lament
go,
of the
no.
songwriter. I hated it.
Well, after you listen to it 2,000 to 3,000 times,
Oh, I
that
know.
song kind of sucks.
I know.
You know?
Maybe that's not going to work after all.
But the second version is way better than the first, isn't it? 100% better.
I think so.
Yeah. Actually, Sealing was saved too from it, wasn't it?
No, that came later.
It came later.
Yeah. Because that's Timmy's on. He came
Trying to
afterwards.
shoot one where somebody hasn't taken a drink of their coffee.
Flipping headsets,
The headset's fine.
picking the nose.
Yeah, that's everybody. Let's do it.
Like Oakley always says, we drink our coffee because you Gotta get up before you can get down.
Well, we drink coffee so we don't kill people.
Exactly.
Without coffee, there would be a lot of bodies. We still have to try to figure out.
Oh man.
A lot of ex-members. That's terrible. That's not recorded.
You never.
Yeah, so I'll insert the MP3 in the video.
Yeah.
Let's go. You guys are still in frame. That's cool.
It works, doesn't it? I like that,
I
child.
know. I would have some, markers, 6.
We got the same kind of camera. We got about 5 of them. We set up to record our videos.
It works.
For the band live.
Your
It
videos
works
are
great
awesome.
outside. It
Which
doesn't
one?
work real well inside because it doesn't compensate too well for shadows.
Oh, does it? What is it?
Ask Paul what it's like doing a new band.
And what?
The new
Be
band.
the new guy in the
Be
band.
the new guy in the band.
How brutal are
Is there another new guy?
10 seconds!
10 seconds.
Not as good. 9. Hey,
I'm the newest guy.
7.
just remember to go.
There's the bass part. And that was Say I from the new CD from the VooDoo Hawks. Pretty cool story in the meantime that that song was playing. Rikki finally confesses more stuff. Right? So you lost the first master of this, huh?
Well, we had the album completed a couple of years ago, actually, and we had a lightning strike, and it wiped out the hard drive on the recorder, and even the backup hard drive. We lost both of them, and we sat there in shock for about 5 minutes, and they said, well, let's start
Okay,
recording again. Yeah, we didn't. And we started the first session that day. It was the 2nd of January, and we started re-recording the album again.
And then you started switching in new people.
The new people, yeah. We've had, the first thing we did was Sigolene, which had
Timmy Zahn.
Timmy Zahn playing accordion on it, and he also played some keyboards here and there. And then he had a stroke, and he had to leave the band.
Yeah.
He joined the band. He was with us for about 2 weeks, and then he had a stroke, and we lost him.
Yeah, I knew about that. I didn't really know any of you guys. I kind of came back to town at that time, and the music community here, we've had a lot of losses. Any way, shape, or form, really. There's been a lot of tragedy in our community, but it still goes on, and that's the dynamics of what you put together, right?
Yeah, it's and the ironic thing is the name of the album is Heartbreaks and Celebrations, which we got from the title track of the album, which did not make the album after all was said and done, but we liked the name of the album. We'd already decided that's the name of the album, but we decided not to put the single on there, the song on there. And yeah, when you look at the album covers, you're going to look and say, wow, he's got the lyrics to it. Well, it's a good poem. So yeah, it's still in there, but the song's not on there. You gotta wait till the live album. We might put it on that.
Oh, there you go.
See, you always gotta
Genius.
leave them with something to look forward to, right?
It's an ingenious marketing technique.
I know.
It is.
It's,
Hey, you
instead
have
of
to buy
going,
the next
man, we
album."
messed up. It's like, yeah, no, stay tuned for the next one.
But I tell you, that title track kicks butt. It's one of the best songs we ever did.
So what's the title of the new album going to be that's going to be on?
It's Heartbreaks and Celebrations.
No.
No, the new one.
The new one?
that's
The
gonna
name
be
of
on
the
it.
new
Yeah,
album.
the name of the new album, yeah.
Yeah,
We should
I know.
pick a name on off this album, like Stand Tall, and
Yeah,
name the
that's
next
exactly
album,
right.
That's
but
awesome.
don't put the
Let's do that.
song on the album.
Okay.
That way we can have the
Make a
same
stand for
conversation
certain.
every time we.
Yeah. Because definitely we're gonna keep you guys.
And we're not going to put the VooDoo Hawks on there. We're going to put Led Zeppelin on there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
All right. So
Let's really confuse everybody.
so who's going to assume what roles?
Well, I was thinking we'd put a picture of the Rolling Stones on the cover, too.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
really blew their minds.
and you really expect to sell how many millions?
Man,
At least 6 or 8.
Yeah. We'll help you, man. we'll do CD
New marketing
giveaways.
strategy. I know our marketing people are listening to us right now going, shut up!
Yeah.
You know?
With those 2.2 thousand, listeners that we got going on right now.
Well, hopefully someone, hey, go out there and buy 10 copies each. Yeah. Do
Yeah.
that for us. Tonight, well, it's not available tonight. It'll be available the 1st of February. If you want to buy
They
an
should
album,
come to our CD release party on the 31st.
There you go.
We'll have them there.
There you
yeah.
go.
So,
Yeah, we expect
buy
Stargate
10 copies each.
to be packed. You know,
Yeah.
you guys have done it numerous times, every time probably,
Better
but.
bring their dancing shoes, I'll
Yeah,
tell you that.
it's one of our favorite places to play.
Well, and that's one of the first shows that I saw you guys at is when you opened up for Kim and Savoy Brown.
Savoy Brown, yeah.
You know, and that's the funny thing that we both knew Kim from different places. I knew him from, he played Dayton, Ohio numerous times, and I was just right there. You know, he'd always have his bag of CDs, and I go, what do you have that I don't have? You know, and he's always interesting enough to talk to. We did an interview with you and him this summer. It's on archives. It was just a lot of fun talking to him right before the show in August. But
in Pueblo Memorial Auditorium.
yeah, I asked him, I said, you know, my favorite Savoy Brown album is Jack the Toad. And he looks at me and he goes, I don't even own that anymore.
That's typical music industry.
I know, yeah.
I mean, we've been through it.
Man, so, you know, Skip,
Yep.
next in line, you have the interrogation train. So, yeah, move that so, you know, Skip might be a little more soft-spoken than Rikki, right? But, so, you're the keyboard player,
That's right.
and, you know, you chewed very well for the context of the band, but I understand that you're really a different kind of genre, really in your heart.
I've been playing music a while, and you know, I've listened to a lot of jazz. I learned a lot about music playing jazz, and I love jazz a lot. But I grew up playing, listening to rock, and so that's kind of where my roots are, and listening to and playing rock. And I've been with several rock bands. But I think there's room for a little bit of jazz in a good rock band. You know, it's just you have to wield it a little differently. You know, it's not like a weapon. It's more like a seasoning.
So, like, you're the filler for the...
No, he's much more than a
Spikes.
filler.
No, not to mean that derogatorily, but, you know, rock is usually pretty much straightforward, you know, time-wise, and, you know, there's a little bit of changes in there to make it interesting, but what I meant by filler is the cool stuff that makes everybody go, wow, that keyboard just adds so much more to the music.
Well, you know, these guys are such talented musicians. They give me a lot of room to kind of reach out when we're performing and recording both. And it's great playing with a good band, a group of guys that really know what they're doing. You know, professionals.
Take credit cards.
Bribery. Wait a minute. You guys have known each other how long? Are you still doing that? Huh? But no, it's I can't wait to hear you guys again. You guys did a flash mob at the Moss Jam, and I recorded some of that, and it was really cool. And it's just like what you said, Skip. You know, it was you guys were spontaneous and solid, but it was a lot of fun. I only put one of the videos up because I sent them all to Rikki, and you know, I don't do anything without permission. So, you know, Rikki's so critical. He's like, no, I didn't like that at all. I was like, man, that was the raw moment of the show, and you know.
And you still posted it. It's all right.
No, I didn't. Did I? Okay, I
don't
did.
take
I
credit
posted
cards,
that
Rikki.
one. Yeah. But you know, that's it. There's no royalties in my end.
Speaking of the Moss Jam, I've got to get over there to that.
Well, so who you said Scotty Harrison and
Tonight we've got
Rifkin
the Suspects, Scott Harrison and Richard Rifkin. And then I've got Michael Wayne, which is my bass player in another band that I'm in, Strange Ring.
Yeah.
And
So
it
where
should
is
be a
this
lot of
at?
fun. It's going to be over at Cleats East.
Where's
Cleats
that
East.
at?
By the stadium.
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's, you know, Powers
Shameless
and Barnes, and then 2 lights east of Powers on Barnes.
On the hill.
On the northeast corner, a big sign says Cleats Bar and Grill.
Well, Scott will make it fun for sure. I've known Scott most of my life, and He's wonderful. He is just so talented.
Yeah, and they come out and support this gym quite a bit, and anytime they host, I get additional players coming from all over the place.
Well, yeah. So put them both in a headlock and say you need to schedule a radio show.
Oh, right on. I can do that.
Yeah. No, Richard had a show scheduled, and he had a car accident actually. Yeah, but what made me ask him specifically is he has this recital performance video where he goes like Rick Wakeman for 25 minutes, and I was just going, wow.
Yeah, he's quite a talent. He's a lot of fun to have at Zam, that's for sure.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but that might be a good way to say goodbye to Paul and say hello
Goodbye,
to
Paul.
the next song, right?
Yeah. What do we got lined up next?
Nice to see you, man.
So we got Quicksand coming up next. Thanks, Paul. We'll see you in maybe an hour.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Great show. All right.
just have that vanilla porter waiting for me.
All right. Absolutely.
See you, Paul. Thanks.
Reserved.
But yeah, we got Quicksand from the new album coming up next. Right now.
Well, it's Quicksand, but it's actually by ELP.
That's like a Palmer. That version.
Oh man, yeah, make us really nervous now, Chris. We're nothing but screwing up the show.
So now we're playing.
But you know that song that you said wasn't yours? It was yours. There was a VooDoo Hawk song on the queue. Anyway, strange coincidence, right?
What was it?
What was?
I don't remember.
I have no idea. It's a different format tonight. That's why I think it goes different through the streaming. Something. I'm learning about it, but I'm not too good at it yet.
You know what? I could use some water now.
We have waters. There should be.
Here's the back album cover.
Just
Your hand.
There you go. I'm sorry. It gets hot in this little room.
There's the back album cover.
That's perfect. We did a bunch of photos last night, and every single picture, Chris is like,
Will it work? Will it work?
Oh man, that's
pissed
the
off.
fun right there.
He looks
though.
like
It's
he pissed off.
I don't think I was pissed off.
So what I did was, instead of taking one for the back album, I put every single one of them as a collage. And then just
Yeah, that's a good angle.
took off the page.
Okay, what do you want to talk about next? We talked about the guests. We talked about Paul. Skip, were you done?
pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a few words.
We'll drag him in. Get some
Oh yeah.
conversation
nobody
about the
escapes.
skydiving going. We'll get him in
Oh
there.
yeah.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I want to do that really bad in my life. I really do.
Come with us, we'll throw you out.
I would
Actually, somebody else
We'll even give you a
will.
parachute.
It won't be us, but somebody will.
Yeah, it's
Do
usually
it
the
one
guy
day in my
says,
life.
I can't come back with a plane full.
Hopefully, I don't pass out before I hit the ground. If I ever do it.
But you gotta open your eyes. Some people
And
I
I
know
would.
keep their eyes
I
closed all
know.
the time.
I'm one of those. I would have my eyes open. I would probably laugh.
There's a video. I know I did.
When I'm afraid, I'm one of those people I nervously
Carol.
laugh.
No, Kara.
I'd probably crack up all the way down.
She really liked it. She really
had a
did.
blast, didn't
She did.
She had more fun than all three of us put together.
Like within 10 minutes, she was talking about, let's do this again. We need to do this again.
You have to do a certain amount of tandem jumps, right, before you can actually jump out of a plane.
Well, we all did tandem.
Yeah,
I can't
think
jump
if
by
you
myself
take the
anymore.
class and
I broke my legs, my ankles when I was in the Army. I broke both ankles twice, this one on the right one
Oh,
3
okay.
times. I broke my femur, broke my jaw, broke my right shoulder,
How the heck
broke my
did you do
nose.
that?
he was jumping out of
The
airplanes.
second bounce.
What?
Second bounce.
Second bounce? Really? Really? Honestly, is that what happened?
Well, the first time I jumped, I was scared as shit.
I guarantee it. I
You
believe
know?
it.
And I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And then the second time I was like, this ain't shit. This ain't shit. And all probably 30, 40 feet before I hit the ground, crosswind came up. I'm like, oh no, oh no. I went,
Oh my goodness.
bam. My first sergeant ran over. Sergeant Hall, are you okay? He said, I lifted my head up, spit a mouth of grass out, and said, ain't shit. Passed out. Woke up in the hospital.
Wow. And you still have jumped, I mean, obviously, apparently.
Well, it took me about 4 months before I could jump again because I broke my nose, broke my jaw, broke my elbow.
Oh man, you broke your jaw?
Yeah.
That must have been
You know what?
That's a tough one to break skydiving.
All you can do is
Yeah, really.
drink through a straw.
Losing
And
weight like crazy.
I learned how to talk like this.
I bet you did.
Everybody was scared of me.
That's good. I heard.
Thought I was pissed off. You want to talk about skydiving, I guess, if you want to.
That's exciting.
Well, the initiation factor, or yeah, just the crazy shit that you guys do that.
Oh,
I
no,
wonder-
no. Statute of limitations. We'll still go to
Okay.
jail for some of that shit. Especially you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. There actually are some things.
Especially them farmers. That shit. But you did it. They're animals, man.
I didn't do anything to animals.
Not
So he says.
that you
A lot of
tell me.
property, but not
We'll
animals.
talk about the learning process if you want to talk about that.
Make me laugh like witchy poo.
Because we don't have a producer, we produce ourselves on this album. I mean, we went through a producer before and we're not live, right?
No.
We go through some shit with a producer, no. I want to go through that again. No, I don't like arguing about parts.
Oh, yeah.
I
Especially
want a
your
bass
stuff.
guitar louder or guitar turned down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so what we do is we sit together and we argue about turning up and down.
Oh yeah.
So is it like reaching over and actually turning volumes down?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, it's all automation.
Take turns in the chair, and one goes,
Yeah.
And then we switch, and the other one goes,
And then we both walk away.
And then we bring in someone else, like Skipper Paul or Steve, and they go,
And then he just says everything.
At Ferris, when we got all done, and we sat Skip down, he said, that sucks!
But it's basically like
That's fucking terrible! It's like,
it's like having two cooks
Start over.
work on pizza, and then the other two cooks come in, and then we got lasagna somehow with pickles.
Yeah, like it's not that way with other bands, you know.
Oh well, well, we have a good system going. He's really good at doing EQs, and I'm pretty decent at mixing and getting everything balanced out. And we still disagree on a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
And then we compromise.
Are you guys using a Korg home theater recording thing?
Oh,
I looked at when you
Korg
were
DW.
going through the house and you went
Okay,
into
the song's about.
It's a DW 6000 or something like that.
yeah.
And we're back. This is the VooDoo Hawk Show on The Beat Goes On, global internet radio show. We scared everybody and said, yep, YouTube's been seen in 187 countries.
The drummer quit again.
Yeah, he just walked
He ran
out.
out the door.
So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to be in the
That's a drummer for you.
Voodoo Hawks, give us a
Oh,
call.
auditions, yeah.
Bring pizza.
Bring pizza. Any particular, just any kind of pizza? You guys
Pepperoni,
like, Ninja
ham,
Turtles, anything?
extra cheese. Leave the. We don't like the mushrooms. They suck.
Oh man,
Yeah.
mushrooms might lead to some creativity.
Well, if you bring
going
mushrooms,
on.
bring the right
But
kind.
not the Pizza Hut ones.
Yeah, the Pizza Hut, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we had some
Free
pizza
ads for-
sponsors we could pick on, but we don't.
We need. That's right. Voodoo Hawks are looking for a pizza sponsorship.
Yeah, you know, Papa John's has that Peyton Manning guy, and I see you just added Joe Montana too Sunday or something like that.
Yeah,
And we're almost as well known as those guys.
I know.
So,
Almost.
And Honey Brown, if you're listening to us, we love your beer.
Yeah.
And if you would sponsor us, we would drink your beer for free. Yes,
We'll
I
have
promise.
pictures. We'll have pictures to prove it. Yeah, Mike
Yes.
Widow over here is going to document even more, you know, and supplement that income that you know, Whiskey Fingers isn't playing anymore. I understand.
That's correct.
You know, and that's like, wow, that's another one I missed out on.
We're waiting for the reunion tour.
Of course, yeah, there ought to be like a big festival day of the institution of
Yeah, we'll see
Colorado
if that
Springs.
Yeah, Whiskey Fingers was fabulous. Miss Patty Mack and all you guys. I saw you guys, and you guys were just fabulous.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
We love you, Patty.
Yeah,
I
Patty's
love you,
probably
Patty.
over at Cleats right now. I hope
Yeah.
they're listening. But, so, you know, you guys, we're talking in between songs about what funny stuff to talk about next, and there's no shortage.
Well,
so
you know,
it's what, between skydiving and what, the initiations or what? the
skydiving
recording
initiations. Yeah. We basically, on my birthday, we all went skydiving
That's
down in
right.
Canyon City.
I
What
saw
a
the
great
video.
time.
You know, that's how we keep
Yeah.
losing drummers. They keep bouncing.
Or maybe they don't bounce.
They don't- One didn't. He didn't bounce very well at all.
Oh, no.
He made a dent in the ground.
Oh, man.
You know, Spinal Tap ain't got nothing on us.
But, you know, no, it doesn't detract anything from the fact that, you know, like, I guess what, President Bush, the original, skydiving on his, what, 90th?
Not in 90th birthday, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You know, paratroopers never die. They just bounce. And it wasn't a joke, because you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, we did my 99th jump on my birthday, September 10th. We're going to do the 100th this coming birthday.
Maybe
September
we can
10th.
do a live show, and you know, you guys can perform after that. See, we're thinking of stuff to do.
I want to have them perform before.
So,
I just had to throw that out there.
Mark, you coming out of that plane with us? Are you coming?
Sure, man. I was in the
All
Air
right.
Force. I'll do it.
Oh, that's
Hey,
a promise.
there
We
you go.
got it on live radio. I know Lisa's already said she's
I am
coming.
down,
Well,
y'all. I'll do
Lisa,
it.
she's so light that if there was a wind, she might.
We may
end
never
up,
see her again.
I know. Yeah.
She's still out there. That was Thursday. Today's Sunday.
Exactly. Take me a little time to get there, but I'll do it.
That's cool. But you guys are nothing but fun, you know. That's the whole point of your longevity, I'm sure, is keeping it fun. I see, you know, the way you entertain the audience everywhere you go, and you are one of those engaging front men that you don't let anybody, you know, check their phone or
I make it up as I go along.
But that's it. You know, sometimes you're looking at a band and you're going, oh, they sound great, but it doesn't look like they're really into it.
Yeah, stage presence and all that good stuff. You guys got it down.
We should give out more presents on stage.
Presents? Yeah, you know, Buckethead does that. He has this big old bag
Christmas
of
presents
toys,
and toys.
and he
We should
he
do
throws
that.
them into the audience.
Stickers,
and
CDs. I might actually. Thanks, Lisa. Great
Hey,
idea.
we're your new management company.
all right.
That sounds like you're
You know, we work cheaply. I'm
Yes.
like, you know, I don't know, in the interest of time, it's like, yeah, you went through an awful bad time getting control of things, right? And that's
Oh,
probably all I
boy.
want to say about it, and let you tell your own story about that. But we try to do mentoring moments, you know, and any band that thinks that they can do it all, there's always something to trip you up, isn't there?
Yeah, when you least expect it. I mean, this album we plan on releasing February 14th of last year, and a lot of things happened, and we signed a distribution deal with okay, I'm not going to mention name.
Probably better not.
Okay,
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
were bought out by another company,
Mm-hmm.
and
Check your stock market listings, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to mention their names, but the
No.
initials are UMG.
We don't
And,
endorse anybody that doesn't pay us.
Unfuck.
Exactly.
UMG, unfuck.
Humbug, unplug, unplug, unplug. And yeah, and the first thing they did was, after we had agreements with the first company, they yanked our videos offline, pending renegotiation of the contract. And our thing was, I'd been involved in a few major labels before, and I've never had a good experience. And I made a lot of other people money,
Oh, sure.
and I've learned all kinds of recipes for ramen noodle through that time period. And you know, and it just gets old. And we had a kind of a turnaround where a major label bought the company we signed with, and then it took us 6 months to get clear of that, you know. And like Mark said to me earlier, let's talk about lawyers. I said, let's not. You know, the best way to handle a lawyer is real easy. Just give them all your money. Give them everything you own to make them go away. Otherwise, you just keep pounding the dirt with them, you know. And, you know, it's not really worth it. I mean, you can be as famous as you want to be, but look at us. Who the hell's going to buy a teen magazine with our cover on it?
Well, you know, was there room in the parking lot for the limo? I don't know. I wasn't out
Well,
there.
Paul owns a limo, you know.
I know he does, yeah.
So we got the limo. We
That's why I
don't
said
need
that.
no major label limo.
Yeah, yeah, except the target on the back is a little crazy, right?
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, we worked things out. And we basically agreed that the company didn't like us, we didn't like them, and we decided to go our separate ways. And we own the recording, we own the masters. I mean, we recorded everything in our own studio. We gave up no rights to anybody. And the problem was, the main sticking point was, we had went through them to post our videos on Vivo. And
Isn't that a Latino subsidiary of MTV or PU
something
or
like
something
that.
like that?
It's very music oriented.
Yeah, yeah.
But then they yanked all our videos off because we were pending renegotiation.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, too bad for us, the listeners, not too bad for you. Because
Well, they're
that
back
was-
on now, but, you know, it's
Well, what I'm getting at is
the
I
price
guess
of an education.
you released a video for Sigolene early last year. I remember
Oh, yeah,
that.
but that's a totally separate company. I mean, we released that on our own
Mhm.
distribution
Yeah.
without a major, we did it without a major label, so we didn't need them.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, and I
Yeah.
totally respect that.
But,
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, some things don't ever change. I mean,
I know, that's the sad thing. You would think.
the people chomping on cigars are the ones that make money, while the musicians are eating ramen noodle.
That's
Well,
right.
you know, ramen noodles, that's another thing that...
I love ramen noodles. We need a
Oh,
sponsorship
no.
from ramen
No, you
noodles.
don't, because that's one of those food items, and that's all I'll say, a food item that's
Well, I'm
like...
looking at it as if they give us the free ramen, that'd be some of the presents that we
After-
give.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
no,
No.
You know,
See, this is my
After
place
what
in
you
the band
went
is
through.
doing this and just telling you, no, Ricky.
Yeah.
We're not throwing ramen noodles in our onion.
I know, even though
Yeah.
10 for 10 for $1 at the grocery store.
That was
that's
live,
one of
live
those-
band management right there.
That's one of
No.
those food items that's like one element away from plastic. Did you know that?
I believe it. I believe it. I've eaten my fill of ramen. I know I have a hard time even
Oh, no.
just. I mean, okay, ramen, good guys and everything, but still,
Yeah.
you're right about the musicians and all that. And I've eaten a lot of ramen. I can tell you that.
I mean, we pounded the pavement. I mean, on the road, eating whatever chunk we could eat. You know, I mean, at one point we were doing 320 something shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Sturgis, and we were there for 1 week and did 15 shows in 7 days. We were doing a day gig in Deadwood at the Buffalo Bar. And that night we'd go into Sturgis and play gigs like at the Hog Heaven Campground, Full Throttle Saloon.
Rest in peace.
A
Was
few
it
other
fun
ones.
though? Was it fun?
I don't remember it.
You don't remember? It was fun.
So now wasn't it Full Throttle that just burnt to the ground?
Yeah, it just burned down about
Yeah.
a few months ago. I mean,
Mm.
Michael's a very nice guy. Michael Ballard. is
Yeah, I
the-
watched the reality show for
Me
a
too.
season or
Yeah.
so, but
And,
wasn't surprised.
No.
No comment.
I know, yeah. I mean, inevitable stuff happens, you know. It's like can't even predict it if you had to. It's like the lottery tonight.
Oh man.
I know.
I would have bought a ticket, but I was running late getting to a radio interview.
Oh, which one?
So I think
That's
that
all right, I won.
whoever wins this lottery, I'm going to be.
I got a ticket.
That's
so-
my money.
So don't worry, I got a ticket. So if I win, you get pizza for life.
Pizza for
That's
life.
right.
There you go.
Man, those Totino little soft flying saucers in the frozen case.
No, I'll get a good pizza.
I get good pizza. It's
$1 billion.
$1.5 billion.
You know, and somebody said Chris didn't talk much.
Well, what we'll do is we'll hire other guys to be the VooDoo hosts, and we'll sit back eat pizza and watch them on TV.
There
We'll
you
make
go.
them guys famous.
Well, that's the the animation. Animation domination? Didn't they do that with what's that? Death Clock, and the show that they had, Metacalypse or something like that, where they played a cartoon heavy metal band, but it was really Death Clock.
Okay.
I remember a video of
a
Blues
hot
Traveler.
metal band. I saw them in
Blues Traveler
Columbus
sitting
with
backstage
Mastodon,
and playing the
they
music and
just
stuff. They had this
smoked.
other band out front. That was pretty cool.
But it
Yeah.
was like Archie and the Archie
Archie
show on
shit.
cartoons. Yeah,
How cool is that?
yeah. They were wise enough to pull that a long time ago, I think.
Good thing. Good idea.
Yeah.
Smart.
So I think the next song queued up is the one that I really like, and the one you told me the story about.
Sigaline?
And Sigaline should be next, and Shadow Man in the background is going to line this one up. 4, 3, 2, on the beat goes on.
That was such
So
good
you're
time.
going skydiving with us.
I am.
You're
yeah.
screwed. We got you, man.
Oh yeah, you think that's? I'm a veteran, man. Don't worry
All
about
right,
it.
cool. Cool.
Kathy is the one. She'd probably be more excited than you about it to get
Kathy
me up
go
there.
with us?
Kathy's already skydived. She's
Oh,
probably
that's
done
right. You
about it.
told me about that.
It's a wonder she hasn't went blah 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 blah, because yeah, she can't wait to go, and I'm always the one going, who got planted in the field in Peyton? Who got planted in the field in Xenia, Ohio, when I lived in there? It's like. shit
So we're gonna
happens,
do a
dude.
call in. Is somebody called or
Nobody's called.
nobody's called?
But let's see, we got some action on the Facebook page, on the event page.
None.
I guess I could call my wife and have her call in.
Well,
I'll call
there's
her.
an easier way to get a ticket for her, huh?
I didn't think of that.
I wake up for this show.
Same thing as last night.
That was a good idea, actually.
No, I changed shirts.
Yeah, no, we haven't got any calls
I'm wearing the
yet.
same thing as last night.
Someone asked if this is a live event near the bowling alley.
Well,
Burns.
We are kind of near the bowling alley. Yeah.
Should we bring up Tony?
Yeah, what's Tony got going on lately?
Shoot, I saw it today and I couldn't really tell you right at this moment. I just know that we should probably say something. I don't know, to tell you the truth. I saw it today and
Well, yeah, we do have,
It's erased
we have
from
one
my mind.
sponsor.
yes.
I'm gonna play
Yes.
it next.
Okay, let me go to Sunshine.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
completely zeroed out. I can't think.
At the Golden.
And I did it today.
Yeah, you want me to say
Something
that?
interesting.
You got another show going on too? At the Gold Room?
He's got the Golden Bee tomorrow.
Huh?
The Golden Bee. I play the Golden Bee twice a week.
Do you really?
Fine.
Man, and you said, well,
I
I'm
used to
done
go there
talking.
years ago.
We passed by there. We went there Christmas Eve to
Yeah.
go look at the lights.
All the lights are gorgeous over there.
Yeah, it was pretty cold, and my knucklehead 15-year-old didn't bring a jacket, so it was a short trip. But,
You got a 15-year-old?
yeah, he's in San Antonio. If
My
he was
little
any-
brother. We just came back from San Antonio. My brother got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love San Antonio, but
Me too.
he comes out for July and every other Christmas. But yeah, he doesn't do much in San Antonio, so I got to go down more frequently and show him his own town.
That's because you're a man about town, though. You do things. You
I
don't just sit
I
around.
can't, now that I'm retired, yeah, it's like I can't sit
Right there,
around.
right
How long were you Air Force?
I did 37 years, enlisted in civil service.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I was gonna do the whole 41, but I had throat cancer, and
My second.
I was an instructor at their university, my last job, and they said, well, I couldn't talk above a whisper for 2 years after treatment. So they said, we're gonna buy you out, and I said, well, okay. So I did. And we're back. This is The Beat Goes On, global internet radio show with street corner gypsy, Lisa Carnes herself.
Oh, hey. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Ed in the background is lining things up. And we're ready to talk some more about, you've already said, oh yeah, Mark's going skydiving, huh? It's like, okay, sure I'll go. But what other tricks do you guys do together?
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, that's a safe answer. Chris is going, man, I'm just dying to talk.
Keep it legal, baby.
We mix down a lot of stuff is what we do together, mainly.
Actually, that last song, Sigoline,
Yeah.
is that it?
Did we played, no,
Yes.
we played Sigoline.
That was
Yeah,
the last one.
that's one of my favorite songs on the album. It was a very fun song to do.
Well, it was a great story.
Yeah, Tim Zahn was playing recording on it. And it's like one of the last recordings he ever played before he had a medical emergency. He had a stroke and doesn't play anymore.
Yeah.
So we were blessed to get one of his last recordings with us.
So did you pay him pizza?
No. We paid him in other things.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, he's
We wish him well though. I hope I know it's been
Great
a long
guy.
road for him, and you know, some of that stuff is really hard to get over. It's been a long time for, you know, you and me to start feeling better, but that was a totally different thing with him.
yeah, totally. But, yeah, the song was actually written about my babysitter in New Orleans when I was a kid. My parents divorced when I was 5. The strange thing happened within a 3-month time frame. My parents split up, and a week later John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and then a couple of months later the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and then we moved to New Orleans in March. So I mean, my whole life was in a whirlwind and everything. And the babysitter, her name was Sigoline, and we were living in New Orleans with my aunt down there, and my uncle had passed away, so we moved down there to help with her farm and to get the crop in and everything the coming year. My babysitter, her name was Sigoline, and she was actually a descendant of Marie Laveau down in New Orleans, who was the queen of the VooDoos. And she was in her 20s, but she had lost one of her eyes in a bicycle wreck. So she had a glass eye. And my mom used to scare the crap out of me. If you don't listen to Sigoline, she'll put a curse on you and turn you into a frog. Well, you know, at 5 years old, that freaks a kid out, you know?
Sure.
And so every time I've heard that name, Sigoline, it's like, I'm gonna be a frog, you know?
Yeah,
But
that's not one of the things you want to grow up to be.
no, but
You want to be a firefighter or a cowboy.
yeah, I don't want to be a frog.
Or a
You
rock
know,
star.
I don't like.
Yeah, definitely rocks.
The only thing I like about French is French fries.
Oh
Something
man,
like that.
you know, but
I don't
that's. I remember the controversy. How many years ago when everybody
Freedom
goes, no,
fries.
we can't have French fries anymore. It's like,
Freedom
yeah,
fries.
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, John.
Well, you know, but now
I got a
everyone-
friend over there right now that he actually lived with us in the same building when I was living in London, and we used to. I'd call him Frog, and he'd call me Yank.
Oh man.
So I know you're listening to it too.
Oh,
So we're friends
cool.
on Facebook because I told him about it. Anyway, we've the thing about her is she would take naps, but she would sleep with her eyes open, and that one eye would start moving to the side. And I didn't know if she was watching me or not. And it was, you know, I was scared to
Got an eye out for you.
you know. So the song is really part true, you know, but I wrote it Halloween night after the trick-or-treaters had come around and I was giving out candy and everything. And then I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning and Sigoline just came to me just like that. So half of it's true about her, you know, and of course the vampires and the werewolves and the zombies section, you know, that's not true.
That's not true?
But no, I'm sorry, man.
Oh, but not even in New
I'll
Orleans.
tell you about Santa Claus too, but not now.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, I won't break his heart.
Don't do that. These crazies are having too much fun right now.
So-
Can't believe it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to find out this way. You know, I was talking to your mother the other day, and
Hey.
I wasn't supposed to tell you about it. She told me it'll break your
You know, if you're
heart.
going to talk about my mom, I can talk about something else too.
Oh, come on now. I didn't need to dive between any one of you guys. But unless this is what you do all the time, you know. It's your
No.
idea of a good time.
We're on
okay.
a minor level right at the moment, and we're keeping it clean.
Yeah.
Keeping it very clean. So if I start to say anything else, I get hit from either side.
Speaking of hit from either side, Skip just came up. I said, Skip, were you done talking? He goes, yeah. And he goes, and on break, you know, we were listening to the song, and he goes, oh yeah, I do. What was that you do?
I play the Golden Bee up by the Broadmoor. It's an old London style bar.
Pub.
Pub. Thank you.
Yeah.
We do sing-alongs. We pass out lyric books, and a lot of people come in there, and we just sing a lot of songs together. It's a lot of fun.
It's a blast.
So you do a lot of drinking songs then, huh?
That's right. There are a lot.
Let's
of
come right to the
drinking
chase because.
So he has his own little set of fans that come in all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm there Thursday and Friday nights, and
In case anyone's in town at the Broadmoor, aside from watching the Christmas lights like we did and Christmas Eve, but
Go and sing.
but that's really, I mean, that used to be one of the places to go before we turned into what, 500,000 people. There wasn't that many clubs.
I used to hang out there quite a bit.
And so how
Nice.
many bees do you have?
I still have some bees. I used to
I
stick
know,
them on
that's
my
a
vanity
tradition,
mirror.
so that everyone needs to go.
I think I've got about 10 bees, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walked in for the first time, and a guy walks in and just starts throwing stuff at me. What?
Yeah.
What did he throw at me? You know?
Yeah.
And Susie keeps all the bees. She's got a collection.
So this is like the closest thing to Dick's Last Resort that we have in Colorado Springs, right?
Yeah, kind of sort of.
For those that aren't familiar with Dick's Last Resort, that's a place where the staff feels free to give you as much crap as you think you want to give them. Yeah, closest one's in Denver. I don't know if it's still open or not, but
Is it still there?
yeah, I don't know. I haven't been up there. We just went to the one in Vegas. We took my son there.
Oh, so you broke him in.
Oh yeah, he.
Did you tell him ahead of time that he's never been here before?
Oh, we did, and yeah, they took care of him well. In fact, he says you better burn that little hat that they made for you. It's still in the garage. Of course, Kathy and Lions weren't really complimentary either, so. Yeah, mine was something about being so old, you know, fill in the blanks. Yeah, and then they expect a tip, right? Well, that's my joke.
Surprise!
Yeah, but I think, you know, we've got a couple more songs to play, and the next one should be Stand Tall, right? So this is, of course, the premiere show for the new CD.
That'd be.
Well, as much fun as we're having talking, but, you know, music's just as important, man.
Yeah, we gotta
Hit
We
get
it.
want
on air.
everyone to buy your CD
Yes.
and come to your show on the 31st.
Not just one. We want you to buy at least 10 copies.
At least.
At least 10 copies each.
So, this is The Beat Goes On Global Internet Radio Show. Stand tall.
I'm going to run out really quick. And I'll be right
This is sealing.
No, the camera's
I
not
think the
on.
last
Behind
one was
schedule.
never sealed.
We're
back. I
behind
stepped on
schedule.
something
That's
right there.
supposed
I
to
hope
be
I didn't mess up.
live.
I got you.
We're about, what, 15 minutes behind?
So we've already been too old, and we didn't even get any jokes in about being never too
Well,
old.
no, we're, you
Ever too
know.
old? Has it already played?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, it has.
Oh, I've been
So we can catch up, though. I mean, we're not going to stop the show while we're still laughing. Gotta throw some punches for me to stop the show.
You should tell the Stand Tall story.
No. That's the one we ain't gonna tell.
Yeah,
that is the one we're
not gonna tell. Yeah,
You can tell me some other time.
yeah, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you right now, but we're not on radio, right?
No,
Make
no,
sure we're
no,
not.
we're not, really.
Okay, well, this one guy used one of our recordings on Facebook and was pretending it was his band.
Oh, man.
And then I called him up on it and he cussed me out and he blasted me on Facebook. Well, everything that he said about me, I copied and pasted. I looked at it and I wrote a song with all his words. So he wrote that song.
So that's Stand Tall.
I just moved a couple of things around,
That's a perfect story.
but all those lyrics are his words, aren't they? Exactly.
You might want to be careful about saying it like that.
We're not on the radio, right?
No.
You heard, you know the story.
It's on video, though.
Oh man. Edit that. Okay.
Well, No, I'm going to slide the MP3 in where that gap is.
We definitely
But we're going to have
don't
some
know.
blooper reels, maybe.
Yeah,
boy.
everything that you're so narcissistic and you just ain't got no empathy. Heard that about me. I'm like, that sounds good. That rhymes.
It's funny
I'm
how
using
people can get so eloquent on Facebook.
Oh, it's true.
And then when you confront them and they're like, don't have nothing to say.
It wasn't the way I meant it. So I'm reading it exactly the way you wrote it. But yeah, I figured the best revenge is use his words and write a song with them.
That's
And you ain't
hilarious.
getting paid.
That's what the exact part.
Exactly. Okay, I did change 2 or 3 words.
That coffee hit me, baby.
1 every 3.
Oh man,
1 every 3.
that doesn't work for me that way.
I drink too much coffee.
So the next one is Rebel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to talk about David Bowie.
Yeah.
Bowie.
Yeah, that's
Bowie.
Bowie?
Bowie.
Not Bowie?
Bowie, like bow tie.
Bowie's a
I'm always
knife.
say Bowie.
Oh,
Like the knife.
Yeah,
Well,
Bowie's a
that's,
knife.
that's appropriate. But
He
Bowie's
named
a-
it.
Bowie's
I
a
know,
rock
but it
star.
didn't rhyme that way, did it? I know. And all the shit that you're going to hear so far about that, they're not going to do that what we just brought up. It's like Bowie, Bowie, Bowie. It's like, well, no. Remember the Alamo. How does that work into, yeah. How does that work? I don't know.
How much time we got
See,
left?
this is why we got as much time as you want to talk, because it's 8 o'clock. There's nothing on after, and it's just canned music. And if we got listeners,
That's the beauty in it. I love that.
yeah.
that you're
If we
doing
got
that.
listeners, this is a bonus.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it that way.
And,
You don't feel like you're under pressure that way.
yeah. What I want to do with the new format is starting.
20 seconds.
Whenever Craig.
20 seconds.
I want to do a local music show after this.
Yes.
You know, because everyone's been throwing CDs to us. Well, we're hoping that you're enjoying the new CD that we've been playing from the VooDoo Hawks, and as much as we have, even though we've been yucking it up even during the songs, because we're going to match it all up later. And I told Rikki, you know, maybe we'll have some blooper videos at the end where we've inserted the songs. And
We're going to jail.
I've never seen him so afraid.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, it's like, what else can you do? But you know, that's the funny thing. We discovered that we've had so much fun talking about this, that, and everything. A lot of the meanings of the songs haven't really come through, and we just heard one, a really good one about the last song, Stand Tall, right?
It's actually coming up next.
Yes, it is. Stand Tall is coming up next.
Oh, okay.
It was
so what
the
did we
great
just play?
story of the
What did we just
VooDoo
play?
babysitter.
That was
I like the
Really
VooDoo
secret.
babysitter story.
Sigoline?
Yeah.
We'll see how this turns out. Because I guess, yeah, we're having so much
So
fun.
what was the last song that was played?
What was the last song?
It
was
was
it Sig?
It was Sigaline.
Sigoline?
Was it
Oh,
It
okay.
was. It was.
Okay.
yeah.
Nobody said we're a professional radio show.
Hey, we'll play them all
We are
again.
here
At
to
this-
entertain,
Hey, I'm
nonetheless, doing
$1.5
what we
billion
have
over
to
the
do.
show, man.
Yeah, you know, and it's all fun until somebody gets their eye poked out.
Exactly.
And we're far enough away from you guys.
Sometimes it's fun poking somebody's eye out.
I know, yeah. Rikki takes great pride in that stuff.
I like that shit.
Stuff.
You
Good
know,
thing.
acronyms. That's an acronym.
It is.
You know?
It truly
I have to
is.
explain that.
Southampton Institute of Technology.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know-
Hi, Professor.
Yeah, you know, when I was an intern in my first job with the Air Force as a civilian, I had to make up an acronym for, you know, because I had a supervisor that said, well, everybody's got a title. And I go, well, what's my title? He goes, well, you can be whatever you want to be. You know, you have a job series, but how about, so I said, how about special handling of very important tasks? That's my job title. So what's that turn out to be? Special handling of very important tasks, Rikki. I was one of the shove it guys. I know.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was fun working projects with me, you know.
You
keep
They've
it
always been
interesting.
calling me the SMF, and we're not going to say what it is.
Acronym.
Well, Army has a little bit different acronyms than the Air Force, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 So really, okay, as a lead-in to the next song, Stand Tall, there's got to be the story told about that one. Because that was just too funny. You don't have to say who
Okay,
it was.
well, it was basically, you know, we've had
Fans.
a hate letter that I basically turned into a song. You know, and I just, you know, he gave me a good idea for it, and sometimes when I get on a roll, I can't stop till it's done.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and yeah, you know, it's basically about being bullied, and no one should ever stand to be bullied.
It's a timely topic.
You know, I
Yes.
mean, it's actually, we did a video for it, and it was an anti-bully song, and it's been used in a couple of anti-bully campaigns. I really don't remember the names of them, but
Yeah.
they asked for permission to use it, and we gave it to them.
That's
Go ahead and use
great.
it.
That's wonderful.
That is
actually.
just great.
You know,
Yeah.
so
So you're not going to go into the full story then, huh? Because
no.
the lyrics are really interesting. You know,
Lyrics
everyone
are-
should really listen to lyrics. I'm not really a lyrics guy, but now I'm going to have to listen to some of Rikki's songs
Because they're real. We'll just leave it at that. They're
yeah.
real.
Well, usually I ask bands, you know, what drives you to write your songs. You know, both the lyrics and the music. And
Child support payments.
okay, now you,
That was
now
one.
you
That's
know.
one.
Yeah, I need to start
Kidding.
writing songs.
Well, you know, most writers that I know, they've got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of them. And for me, it's instead of me getting a baseball bat and running around beating people, I write songs about them. So if you tick me off, you're in a song, baby. Oh yeah, I'll make you famous. You know?
What can we do, Lisa?
Oh, I can find a million things to do. Just ask my husband. I do it every day. I do it so well.
That's TMI for me. You know?
No, it's getting good now.
I
I'm
can get
not even
myself
gonna
in
ask
trouble anyway, you
Chuck.
guys.
Yeah. So you know that's it. This show has flowed so well, and everyone's been so much fun, and it's all because we know each other in certain manners. You know, I don't know Skip and Chris as well as I know Rikki, and you know, but this is the way the show is. We are not you know, writing transcripts about what the script should say, what questions we should ask the artist.
You've been
because-
asked to do that before too, and I've seen you say I refuse the script, and you know I love that about this show.
Well, because when you know someone, you don't want to ask something stupid that you already kind of know the answer, even if it's like, no, I'm not answering that stupid.
And it becomes repetitive, I would think.
Well, if you, yeah, you know, if you ask the same questions all the time, but
Sure.
you know, we try to get some of the shy kind of bands that are just emerging and trying to get their message out. But they even have a message too, because they wouldn't be doing this stuff if they didn't want to communicate something to an audience, you know?
Yeah, it's
So-
all about communicating
Uh,
and making connections with like-minded people.
Mhm.
You know, everybody wants to belong to a tribe. You know,
That's
and,
so true.
And we have our own tribe.
Yeah, this is a huge community, and you know, everyone knows everybody just by evidencing how many people were guesting on your music.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of great friends on our album, and we I really appreciated everybody that came out and contributed to it. You know.
It's wonderful. I just missed the cut, darn it. You know.
You
Oh,
know,
look.
was it because you were just a little, a
Oh,
little
we're
too
already
short?
recording.
I
the
was a
next
little
album.
too short. Exactly what it was. I was a little short on knowing my time, and I really wish I would have. I really do. But
I'm
I'll be
sure
another
there's going
time.
to be another opportunity, right?
Well, of course, but what we were really worried about is if we invited you, you'd bring Dave Way, and we didn't have enough booze
Oh,
in the
we love
refrigerator.
Dave Way. Oh, there you go. Yes.
Oh,
We had to make
Dave.
sure we
Wonderful
were well
character.
stocked on the bar for you, Dave.
We love Dave.
Dave and Joe King, and I keep telling Dave that, but I got to say too, Joe King and Dave are tied for the most number of appearances on the He Goes On show
Oh, really?
last year. I mean, it's
Wow.
not because we didn't have enough stuff to do. It's just you know, Dave did a solo show. He did a show with Street Corner Gypsy. How I got to meet my co-host, and then he did
Wonderful
a show.
Dave.
What? I do want to know, when is Dave putting out an album?
Dave is
All
working
those-
on an album, actually.
When's it
And
coming out?
well, you know, there's been a couple things that have come down the pike, because I know that Dave is with He Kill 3 right now,
Mhm.
but Street Corner Gypsy will always live on, and I'm sure that both entities should be coming out with an album sometime, but I can't give you a straight answer to that. You have to call up Dave and ask that, and you know, he's not shy. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yo, Dave, give me a call.
Well, and that's the point. We there's so many talented musicians and bands around town. A lot of them really don't have CDs or a catalog. They just do what they do, and you know, their music really stands alone because they morph it so well. You know,
Yeah.
but that's not a prerequisite to be on the show to have a CD. You want to cut to the last song?
No,
Huh?
stand tall.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah, I want to talk to you about something.
Oh,
Stand tall.
Okay.
I want
okay.
to talk to you about something before we go into the very last song.
That
which
sounds
is obviously-
wow.
fabulous. Love it. Love
Absolutely.
It, love
You know, if you want to talk to me, we got
it.
to.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear you, I promise. It's just us.
And,
Globally.
Why is my phone starting to buzz all of a
Globally.
sudden?
2,000 of our closest friends, of course.
That's right.
But you invited them.
Yeah.
Do you want to play?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do Stand Tall.
Okay. Stand Tall is getting queued up by the Shadow Inn.
All right.
And here we go.
I want to talk about cover bands because people have been given. I've been reading all kinds of stuff on Facebook, people putting cover bands down and everything. We're about to release a single as a cover.
Well, that's good.
And that's fair. You
Yeah.
know what? They work just as hard. It doesn't matter. I
you
mean,
know,
It
yeah.
ticks
Oh,
me
yeah,
off,
yeah.
you know. It real
I
because I just want to say, see, and we're still a cover band.
I know.
What you gonna do about that?
Well, Dave Rouse from Runs with Scissors contacted me early last year when I was doing the preliminary lineup for the show. And he goes, well, he starts it off right off the bat negatively. I've never met Dave before at that point.
Dave's got.
He goes, well, you don't play cover bands, do you? And I go, I
No,
don't
is
see
it-
why not. You know, this is the Southern Colorado Musicians and
Talk about
Artists
your gigs.
Cooperative.
Talk about
Yeah.
yeah.
I
your
don't care
plans
what you
are.
play. I gotta fill up 52 shows in a year, so, and they still haven't committed to a show.
What major artist didn't do covers?
Oh, that's.
Well, you know
that's
what?
the Beatles.
Two of the
Yeah.
big,
Original
two,
cover.
three of the
Yeah.
biggest
The Stones
cover
and the
bands, the
Beatles were
Stones,
pretty big cover bands.
Oh,
Led
yeah,
Zeppelin.
David Bowie
Yeah,
did
yeah.
Pin
All
Up,
kinds of Robert Johnson.
and Grateful
too.
Dead would never have survived had they not been
Yeah.
playing their covers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and even Yorma from
Yorma, he-
the Airplane.
Hey, I mean, it's a
He
piece of
actually
blue
did
stuff.
time in Antioch, Ohio, with Reverend Gary Davis, crafting his blues licks way before the Jefferson Airplane started.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Yeah, I just happen to live in Ohio, and he
I
has
just-
that ranch down there.
Let's get
in
ticked off when I
southeastern
hear
Ohio.
this
I learned so much about the
cover band versus original band
No.
shit.
Yeah.
It's a platform for all music.
If there's a good song, play it.
Yeah.
I have no problem playing. We do a lot of covers.
Well, imitation is the highest form of flattery in some circles.
Yeah, you can really develop
true.
your own style until
You played 1,000
you've
covers.
played 1,000 styles.
Yeah.
You know,
true.
I mean,
Mhm.
It's very true.
now people used to tell me that stuff, and I tell them the same thing. You gotta play covers.
Well, you
Can't
know,
learn to
then there
play.
was
You know, I
some
played
really,
in a couple bands that went out and did nothing but originals, and
yeah.
we were worse than Led Zeppelin. We took a big dive. We went over like a brick shit house and a damn lake.
But some bands,
And you know, the other thing is you can play songs that everybody wants to hear, and they're some of the best songs ever written.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
know?
If you're good, you play
And if
them
you
like you
do,
play 'em.
if you
And
do
that's-
do it justice,
Yeah.
20 seconds.
you know. No, I get
Okay.
real wrapped up about that since I played.
Well, jump in
well, what I was going to say is like some bands have really found some Cut. Yeah, okay. We're going to get ahead of ourselves in a minute, but no, we're going to slow it down because we just had this quick discussion during the last song, and it's very timely, very poignant, and everybody in the room had an opinion about it. And, you know, it's about cover bands, Rikki.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was reading on Facebook just the other day, there was this little argument thing going, cover bands versus original bands. Well, come on, that's where you learn your craft, is playing other people's music and figuring out what works and what doesn't. You know, I mean, the Beatles were one of the best cover bands. And if it wasn't for covers, Grateful Dead may have never survived as long, because they were an awesome cover band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the Stones, their first 2 or 3 albums were all covers,
Mm-hmm.
blues covers.
Rock and roll is a cover of blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's it.
Yeah,
In
that's
our
very true.
education, being in the age group that we are all in, you know, we've discovered that over the years. You know, I remember, and this was, I don't even know when that song first came out. It was late 70s, early 80s. But Aerosmith, they just blasted
This
the
Way.
world with that big 10-inch song.
And Walk This Way.
And everybody goes, oh, what a great
Train
song!
Kept It Rolling, which is by the Yardbirds.
Well, but you know, the thing about that big
bands.
10-inch song, I was listening to the cable blues channel, you know, on DirecTV. It's not Sirius anymore, but it's a pretty good blues channel. And so I heard something that sounded like, wait a minute. And I went on Google and I go, okay, original, yeah, there was an original big 10-inch song from the 20s. Well, you know, and it was, yeah, it made me want to research all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
well,
so
the Stones turned me on to a lot of the early blues cats. You know,
Oh,
Elmore
yeah.
James.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know.
And even before that,
yeah.
going to the International Blues Challenge, which is this week. Next week, no, it's the 24th, really, end of the month. But you learn so much when you go there to Memphis, which is a cradle of blues, and then you go south to Clarksdale, which is the, you know, crossroads. They have all the museums and all the stores that everyone's just grateful to tell you all the stories, because everyone says the blues is dying as a genre, but you know, every time I go to a blues show, everyone's still happy and dancing. No one's going,
We've got a
"Yeah,
couple
this
of
is
blues
crap."
cuts on this album. You know.
Yeah. But
when I was growing up in New Orleans, I mean, we heard Professor Longhair.
yeah.
We heard Fats Domino and, you know, Howlin' Wolf, and we actually were doing a song from my childhood
Mhm.
by Her Mind Is Gone, which
That
is
guy.
Professor Longhair. I mean,
Yeah.
that's on our album too.
Yes.
And you know, so the blues is not dead. The blues is still strong. Long live the blues.
Mhm.
We're doing a couple of blues songs, maybe more. Maybe
Well,
three.
I was going to say, going to
It's
Clarksdale
intensely.
last year, I went to the Blues Museum, and of course they have a great bookstore in there. And I don't know how familiar you are with R. Crumb, the cartoonist.
Yeah.
San Francisco classic, Mr. Natural and all that guys that he did, but he put out a book that actually was an homage to some of the early blues players from the 1910s and 20s that only put out music on the 78 RPM records, and immediately were forgotten about
Like
when
Robert Johnson.
long players came, and you know, and nobody caught on to that. But
Sleepy Eye Joe and all
oh
that.
man, even more than that, I'll bring that book sometime, and we'll just, you know, just go nuts over, wow, that was this guy. But coming back full circle, and we're taking a long time with the show because we want to. You guys really deserve some time on this show, and we want everyone to really feel the VooDoo Hawks in the personal hotspot, which is this room. But you know, we have time. There's nothing on but the auto DJ after the show. But really, you're going to we're going to play your world premiere of a song on the album for a special reason.
Well, actually, we were supposed to have released it Monday, and it's a song written by David Bowie, and we didn't release it Monday because everybody's
shock.
waking up to
Yeah.
David Bowie. passing away the day before, and we were in shock.
Yeah.
We walked around like we weren't even sure if we were going to release this song because of that.
What a dilemma.
And we
huh?
didn't want people thinking that we were trying to profit off his death and everything.
Yeah.
And we went back and forth on the phones. Should we do it? No, let's do it. Nah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no. Hell, let's give it to Mark and let him debut it. So we gave it to you. And another thing is, you know, we were talking about the original musicians versus cover musicians. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an original music.
True.
Because everything is, there's bits and pieces from everything.
It's
from
been
the
done.
past.
Yeah.
It's all been done.
There's only 12 notes in the scale. I mean, at some point you're going to
And
get
I'm
to
s-
where you're copying everything.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
there
I'm
was
sure
that,
everyone's been
there
hit.
was that realization way back in the late 60s when someone says, oh, we're going to run out of music because there's only so many combinations.
Mhm.
Well,
I don't think so.
chord.
No.
Hasn't happened yet.
thank God. Yeah, wait until
But
someone completely bastardizes the industry, you know?
yeah, we
Did I say
decided to
that
release
right?
this song as more or less a tribute to David Bowie.
Yeah.
I mean, we loved his music, and he was a big influence on me as a songwriter, as was John Lennon, and you know, we've lost both of them now.
Mhm.
And I felt very emotional hearing about his death on Monday, and that's the only reason why we didn't release it Monday. But we figured, what the heck, you know, we love his music, and this is the way we play one of his songs, and
Yeah.
it's a cover.
But
There.
it's pretty darn good. I heard you guys, Cleats, do it, and of course you didn't like it because you don't like too much, but I liked it a lot because it was raw. And so here's my David story. I like everything that David did as David Bowie, but what really, really hit me hard is when I was working in LA in the early 90s, and I was always looking for what was happening on the Sunset Strip, go there right after work and hang out until I couldn't stay up any longer and had to go to work the next morning. But I fell into this opportunity when David was doing this band
Tin
called
Machine?
Tin Machine.
Awesome albums.
I've watched videos of David all through his career. You know, I never really got to see him other than Tin Machine, but that show was freaking amazing. It was David Bowie rocking out, and it was just, everybody was really into the show. Of course, it was at the Hollywood Palladium. Lots of stars walking around, lots of beautiful people. It was really fun, but the whole thing was, everyone was riveted on what David Bowie was doing. He did a Cream song, I Feel Free. It made me cry, man. That was just, it was so hot. The band was right behind him. The guitar player in the band, Reeves Gabrels, was pulling feedback out of a digital rig. Beyond belief, I was freaking out. It was so good. But we're gonna hit that song, and we're gonna wrap up the show right after that. So we're proud that you guys let us do this
Yes.
world premiere of Rebel Rebel from VooDoo Hogs. On the Beat Goes On show.
Very cool. That was great.
That's fine.
This is fun, you know. It's like when it's an
Let's do
hour,
it.
it's like we're going, oh shit, it's over.
I figured I'd come in, take a couple photos and leave. You know.
I love
Have-
when
having a
they-
good time.
We like this environment where people just come and hang out. We really do.
It's always happy. It's always a happy environment. Always,
Yeah.
always.
And even when bands come in that don't really know that well and are a little apprehensive, by the end of the hour, it's like we're buds.
It's fun.
Yeah,
It is.
it's fun.
Don't sound right.
Don't sound right?
Might be the headphones.
It sounds canned.
Yeah, it's got a. It sounds like it's
You're-
circle
It does.
tracking.
Huh?
It's got a reverb on it, like it's going back through. It might just be the headset.
Okay, it's progressing through the song. It seems like your vocals are in the background though.
And they're not in the mix. We had an artist over.
Yeah.
Text her, like, no, you're still too hot.
How can the MP3 lie? Come on.
But he's definitely not in the background.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Don't sound right. Oh well. They can listen to it on.
Tell them to come and hear it live.
Yeah.
I
That's
want to
what-
hear the
Yeah,
right version.
yeah.
You're gonna have to buy the CD.
Yeah.
Because
It
you know
might be
what?
looping back through the headphone
We,
amp and giving you delay, which
Yeah.
makes it sound like reverb.
Well, because we've got so many spins off of this
speakers.
line.
And that could be.
I gotta get Craig to modernize the studio a little bit for some and stuff like that.
He's doing so many wonderful things for the studio. It's just
Well,
wonderful.
I want to have my name on stuff. It's like Rikki. It's like such good
And
right.
he does too, and I love it. It's like you tell him, you get what we want.
Yeah, it might not
You
sound
get what we want.
It very well could. In fact, a little bit of
I
delay
like
makes
it.
it
It's
sound
like
like
what the big
reverb.
guy said. You do what the big
That's
guy
what you
said.
might be. Yeah.
Hope so.
And your voice is quiet, it would cancel. You listen to your voice come filtered through the loops.
They are. I agree. It doesn't
It's not. That don't sound like a recording.
I don't
I
know
think
what
it's
the recording
I think
sounds
it's
like, and I can
filtered
tell
through
way
a
over
loop.
here that it's not
But
something.
it's going to be on Reverb Nation
Right?
Yes.
about an hour from now.
I can tell just wait. I've not heard it. I figured it out. CD and
Okay.
The guitar has a reverb on it too that shouldn't be there. That is a dry cut guitar. So,
It's odd.
yeah.
Well,
So I
we'll
think
see
it's
how it
looping
comes
in your
out.
hearing. It's a comb filter.
Yeah,
Where
we've
it
got
loops.
a separate laptop for the Audigy feed, Audacity
Oh, that
feed.
could have something to do with it.
Well, no, it's split off sound, so it's being broadcast through sound that way.
System
Which
automated
is
mouse.
directly.
Exactly.
So it's a
Sound Pro.
directly playing the MP3.
Yes, Christopher.
Yeah, that was a little bullshit. Yeah, no, we've done a crash course on everything. We got rid of the producer after he sabotaged the November shows.
Oh, man.
Eric.
Yeah,
Why did he do that?
because my show's more popular than his was.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't really care, but you know, the finished product should be okay. And it wasn't, so I'd have
Well,
to
you
go
didn't
back.
get every
That's why I
member of the
started
band.
video.
No,
Sorry.
that's all
Make
right.
your own
Steve,
edits and have your own.
Yeah, yeah. So the YouTube stuff is good.
Nice.
I'll send you some
And we're
pictures.
going back and working the show.
Ten
We
seconds.
obviously got, I'm booked until May
Pick 'em up.
for the
I
show.
won't put them on
Nice.
Facebook.
Very good.
'Cause you can add it.
Okay, we are at KBCMradio.com with the VooDoo Box. Having a good one.
Absolutely. Street Corner Gypsy, Lisa Carnes. What's going on with you lately?
Well, you know, I've been having a lot of cool offers, and I'm thinking I might get to play with some Street Corner Gypsy coming up here again pretty soon, and I'm excited about that. I love doing that, and I've got a couple of other projects that I'm in right now, and life is good for me, and it's full. And the radio station, this is good stuff. I'm having a good life, y'all.
Oh man, yeah,
I love my
it
life.
shows,
On.
yeah.
I
There's
love my
no,
life.
there's no,
So skydiving.
yeah,
And you know I will. I'm not scared. I ain't scared.
That's not what I said. I said I wasn't going.
Well, Susie said she would go skydiving if you would.
Oh yeah. Oh no, she's already listening and she's shaking her head. But, yeah. Well, we like to get everyone involved here on the show, and it's just been a fun. It's we have an extra special show today. It's been an hour and a half, and we want to thank the VooDoo Hawk members sitting in front of us, and Stevie that can't make it, and Paul that's doing the jam already, and
Well, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
you know
It's been fun.
there was always an open invitation. There's always an open invitation to return.
We'll be back next week.
You know, well, and that's it. We got to say that things are going to change a little bit, but as far as the show, it's not changing a bit. We are going to be hopefully expanding our reach. I just got arrangements. I got my own URL for YouTube streaming for the Southern Colorado Musicians and Artists Cooperative, so we can go.
Yes.
We can go to your show and make an event.
It's exciting too.
Yeah, because we're trying to work with a lot of the local venue owners. We love John Hooten, of course, for Stargazers and all he does for the local community. And our sponsor right now is Tony Cordy at Sunshine Studios.
Love Tony.
Yeah,
great venue.
Christina
Love
and
Tony.
Scott Wilson are just cool as can be. We just covered a show that they sprung on Friday evening with my Michael Alexander. There's some video up on the channel for that. More to follow.
That guy's a hoot, man.
Oh man, yeah, and he's coming back. So we're gonna make sure that we're getting plugged in, and who knows what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be cool. And we want you guys back anytime that you got anything to do, new releases or otherwise, or.
Well, just give us a yell. We'll be happy to come down.
I was just wondering when that show is again.
Okay.
It's Sunday,
January 31st.
And
Starting
everyone
Answers Theater.
needs to pack the house. Since we had so many calls, we don't know what to do with. We are extending the arrangement that yes, we have tickets to give away. So what the first requirement is that you have to like the Beat Goes On Global Internet Radio Show Facebook page.
And the VooDoo Hawks.
And the VooDoo Hawks.
Facebook page.
And we're going to try and publish some questions that might stump some longtime fans.
And the Skip Moore Facebook page.
Yeah, you know, like everybody, because this is the cooperative environment that we...
And the Michael Widow's photography page.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
You know, the environment, you haven't missed a beat, you know, and it's just like me. It's like, you know, it took me a while to go, what the hell, and, you know, now we're on the course, aren't we, Mike?
Yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah,
Having fun.
so yeah, we bump into each other at shows, and, you know, that's the joy, is that everyone's got a different eye for things, and, you know.
I'm so glad you came to Sunshine when I saw you at Sunshine. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
seeing you guys at the shows is important for the musician.
Well, you know, it is opportune if you work it right. Mike's been covering the New Brain for Arnie jams at the Ancient Mariner every other Sunday. These guys are not to be missed. Michael Reese, Kim Stone, Wayne Hammerstadt, Bryant Jones, Dewey Steele, and
Many others.
the cast
The cream
goes
of the
on.
crop.
Yeah, you know, in the Ancient Mariner in Manitou, and it'll hold a lot more people, so you need to come out and check that out. And speaking of Sunshine shows, I know Tony and Christina and Scott are going to NAMM, so they're kind of doing a break right now, but the big show coming up March 19th is it's going to be a great one. It's the return of my new friends, Kimberly Freeman and Jason Sewell, One-Eyed Doll specifically. Those guys are a riot, and Kimberly has just been recognized as one of the top, whatever the count is, of female guitarists. She's really a shredder. She is just amazing. She's got this little girl voice, and she's got this great One-Eyed Doll persona. They supported the Witches tour, their latest CD last year. I don't know what they're going to do this year, but I can't wait to talk to them. In fact, we're queuing up the interview I did with them in the bus. They actually did an a cappella version of the Sonny and Cher Beat Goes On song.
Oh, cool.
That's going to be the new introduction for what we got going
Beat
on.
goes on.
Oh yeah.
Beat goes on.
We should end every show with a version.
I just love that.
Yeah, you know, and shout out to my homies in Fresno, California, because that's where Cher and I are from, believe it or not. And Sonny, long rest in peace, but, you know, went from a hippie to a California senator. Who knows what's next for you guys, right? We need Doug Lamborn out. So Rikki D. Hall, you need to replace Doug Lamborn.
I've been considering running for president. Yeah.
And that's as far as we go politically.
But I loved it.
Are you allowed to drop S-bombs and F-bombs in Congress, though? I don't know.
Oh, you know, I've seen clips where parliaments around the world that break into brawls. You know,
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's hilarious. Yeah,
Our
everybody
own
thinks our
Congress
government's so
wants us that way.
dysfunctional, but anyway, this is not a political show in any way, shape, or form. We just make fun of most everybody.
Yeah. All politicians.
But thanks again. This could go on for as long as we want it to, I know, but
Thank you for having us.
yeah, it's going to be a great show on the 31st. Mike's going to be doing photos, and what else
And the
is
album
going
comes
on?
out on February 1st called Heartbreaks and Celebrations. It's on L Acoustic Records. come out the day before, on the 31st, and get a copy before everybody else does.
Oh yeah, plus it's just going to be a fun party. We're all going to be there.
We're going to have a blast.
Yeah.
Trademark infringement.
And that's not just another mark. It's a band. I can't wait to hear them if they're a power trio.
Power trio.
So
awesome.
put them in a headlock too and say, you need to get on the radio.
All right.
Or,
Why don't you come and meet them?
Oh yeah, let's hang out in the green room and see what
Hang out in the
Cindy
green
and
room
John.
till we see double.
Oh, I know.
And then there'll be a 6-piece band.
Well, you know, and that's it. We're lucky enough that John and Cindy don't chase us out of the green room all the time because I'm always in there talking to. I mean, Mike Zito's coming back to town.
Oh yeah, I think he's this week, isn't it?
No, I think it's in February.
Then it might be the gig right after us.
And yeah, it might be. And then Anna Popovic, another blues queen. Yep, she's gonna just rock the house. And what else is going on? Look at the calendar of Stargazers and meet us there. But anyway, this is the end of this version of the Beat Goes On Global Internet Radio Show on kvcmradio.com. Listen to us all the time. Of course, like the page, like the shows. And I also have a show on Saturday, 12 to 6, called Worldwide Blues. And it's not your traditional blues show. I like to find really obscure stuff. So it's not just a regular B.B. King and Robert Cray, and we're pushing the electricity on the blues. So until then, next week, I gotta announce next week's show because this is another show that I am just really amazed that I got to come on to the show. After a few times, because a lot of cancellations going on, but Colin Truesdale, a member of the Air Force Band, is going to come and talk to us with, of course, his project band called the Quartet of Jazz Death. They are just really amazing, really amazing.
They sound amazing.
Yeah, go like Colin's page, Quartet of Jazz Death page, but you know, Stefan Flores is the drummer, and Steve Lagamo, who I heard of when I was living in Dayton, Ohio, as a faculty member music teacher at Sinclair Community College, is on guitar. And Sean Hanlon is rounding out keyboards and also a member of the Air Force Band. But this is going to be a monster show. We had a lot of fun here today. We usually do live performances, but you know, it's been great to debut the album. And next week, listen in because the roof is going to be shaken. These guys are awesome. And then the last show of January on the 27th is Soulsmith. We found them from the Paul Moss Jam on Wednesday at Cleats. Sierra Keaton and the band, Karen Oldenwald on keys, graciously said, you know, I was going to do an IBC show if I was going to Memphis, but I couldn't swing it this time because, darn, I'm just too busy. So we filled up the show with them, and it's going to be a lot of fun with them if you heard them at Cleats before. I know you have. You were there.
I was with you.
Yeah. But, Lisa, what's up now?
Well, I know that tonight was a lot of fun, and I don't know, I'm really glad that I got to meet all you guys. I had just a really good time with you guys tonight. Thank you. It was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We like bringing people together. And we will continue to do so on any media platform that we have at our disposal. So, until next week.
kvcmradio.com.
Oh man, Street Corner Gypsy.
Tell you what, I'm hearing rumors about them guys.
Well, that's another show.
I know it is.
Okay, kids, thanks for listening. Leave comments on the pages. Any other time, feel free to hit us up, send us some messages. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Yay.
It was fun.
Cool.
Oh. It seems like the three of us are the ones always doing interviews.
And I don't even do much. I just listen to you.
You actually did more this time than ever.
I'm
That's
getting
pretty
better.
good, man.
I'm getting better. You helped me out.
That's why I clicked right up.
Help me out.
Put you on the spot, so we did.
Loaded in one song.
Yeah, but you let me know what I
Very good.
And
Let's
then
go ahead
as soon
and
as that song
That
goes,
helps.
pull one here, put it up there. So I had to stop it.
But this is
And
good.
that's why
These
I
guys
moved all of them
they're
over.
pretty good.
It was fun.
Never
Thank
tell
you very,
nobody.
very much.
I just laughed.
I had a blast.
Take me out back.
That was really great.
I didn't help right or dark.
That was awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, the only reason I do the Kimber Stones.
Well, I hope those songs turned out the way they were supposed to.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be fine.
What the
And
hell
then,
is it?
like I say, we'll track it on the video.
It's not bad.